Good morning. How are you tonight? Just real quick. Peter 5:7. I wrote it down actually because I just remembered it. Cast your cares upon him, Jesus, for he cares for you. Why I'm saying that is the spiritual community is full of deceptions. We don't understand the power and energy. When we give something up to the universe, when we cast it to the universe, we are feeding an entity. The universe is a dark entity. Call it a demon, call it the darkness, but it's a feast. And me and my brother DHP are doing the chakras, and I know it goes against a lot of everyone's beliefs. I understand that. But that's the idea, the deception. So when we cast our cares, our worries, our heartfelt things that we don't think we can bear, we give them up to Jesus. He lessens our burden. He takes these things from us. But when we cast them to the universe, when we throw them out to a universe, that's a deity. I mean, that goes way back to the Hindu religions, even as far back as Mesopotamia. We don't know what we're feeding. Our words, we don't understand them. But we think, oh, it's beautiful, the universe, it's so vast, it'll hold it. We just don't realize what we're doing. Yeah, I say that. Look, I'm not a proponent of religion by any means. I literally had a pissing contest with a scholar the other day on my channel, and I'm sorry I did that. But at the same time, you see, the word that we were given doesn't need a middleman. Do some of us need help with a preacher, a reverend, etc.? Yes. But one of the worst things I can hear come out of any clergy, any type of priest, reverend, pastor, is when they read something out of the Bible, especially when it's something Jesus said, and they say, what Jesus is saying here. Okay, I have a real problem with man's interpretation of Jesus' word. In fact, I have a whole lot of problems with most of the things that comes out of most reverends' mouths. You know, there's a book in the Bible, it's parables, okay? We could look at Jesus' life as a parable. In fact, we can look at the entire Bible as a parable. We can always learn something from looking at it from a different angle, from a different perspective. But there are theologians that, scholars that tell you, oh, that's not what it means. Okay, let's say I read a passage and I think, well, that's about, overcoming your fears. What I get out of something like that, and Christians are brutal, and they'll come back at you and go, no, that's about this, and this, and you don't know the word of the Lord. Okay, just an FYI, we're all on the same team. What you've been fed, your interpretation means absolutely nothing to me. The whole idea of any of the holy books is to understand, gain wisdom, not just look at it from one perspective, but look at it at every perspective you can see, and from the inside out. The inside out is most important. I have trouble calling myself a Christian because of Christians that do those things. They want to pound you with, oh, this is what it is. Okay, man's interpretation means absolutely nothing to me. Zero. I don't understand most Christians that, okay, Bible only. And I'm sure I'll get all kind of comments in my chat here. Bible only. Okay. Well, our faith comes from the Old Testament, which is Judea religion. Why don't they read the books of Judea? Talmud, Torah, Maccabees, Enoch. And Enoch, because he's mentioned in the Bible, oh, it's not canon. Okay, that's been in the Ethiopian Bible, and there's another country, but the Ethiopian Bible is the earliest, that shows Enoch within that. Do you think they just put that in there because they wanted to? No. Okay, it was canon. You can argue it, you can research it, and you'll find it was canon. Now, hear what I just said, it was. Who took it out of the Bible? Man. Man. Man decided what should be scripture and should not be. There's a gazillion versions of the Bible out there. It's watered down. It's watered down, and you should take offense to that, because they're basically telling you, oh, it's easier to read. No. They're telling you that you're not smart enough to understand the word. We have to water this down for young Johnny because he can't understand the word how we want him to see it. And I know it's a little bit of a ramble, and I apologize. But this goes back to many forms. And you know, Christians, okay, you're on the same team. I don't care what denomination you want to go by. Okay? Catholic, any of the bullshit, Protestant, all of it. You're all on the same team. But see, in man's arrogance, they argue the small points, the simple points, the dumb things, because they're man. Oh, you know, pound my chest. Oh, that's this way. Do you understand the arrogance and pride in that? Do you understand that? That's why I have a hard time with religion. You know, I've read just about every book out there. I own a number of the Apocrypha, Talmud, Septuagint. I read online more than every day something from one of the holy books or Apocrypha. And realize Apocrypha is a made-up word, pseudo-Apocrypha. Okay, that means basically bullshit is what their term is. But you see, if our religion, if Christian faith comes from the Jewish faith, okay, do you see how we've grown from that point? Okay, why wouldn't you want to know the origins of where we came from? Why wouldn't you want to grab any and all information you can about the times, the people, the period? Why wouldn't you want to know that? Why wouldn't the churches encourage that? But instead they say, oh, don't read those books. Those aren't there. They might as well burn them. And that's what the Roman Catholic Church did in many, many centuries. They burned the books. Why? Man's arrogance. You see, in every one of those books, Apocrypha, you name it, even the Quran, yes, the Quran, if you're a Christian, you can understand the faiths, come to your own interpretation, and get an understanding of the faith, of the history. You're not going to be sucked into the Quran if you're afraid of it. You're not going to be sucked into the Jewish religion if you're afraid of it. If that's your fear, then you have a weak mind. You have to educate yourself. Look, there's wonderful pastors and priests out there. Wonderful. but there's a majority of them that only want you to see the way that they've been taught and the way that they've been fed, and they will not break from it. It's no different than the spiritual community that's out there. They lock onto something. Oh no, it's their new faith. It's their religion. They don't mix and match well, people. In fact, they don't mix and match at all. We're all not perfect. Okay, I don't have all the answers. I've never claimed to be. But I have faith. And I'm not going to argue my faith over someone else's point of view. That's just, frankly, pride and arrogance. And it's possibly the most stupidest thing that I always see on the internet. Arguing over a word, a phrase. We're on the same team, people. Anyway, have a good day.